Hey everybody, Marcus from Heel Toe Automotive here, bringing you a little bit of a product feature. I got something brand new from SuperPro that I've never had before. I don't think these are a brand new part, but it's new to us and news to a lot of people with first-gen TSXs. Check it out. Let's see what these control arms are all about with SuperPro polyurethane bushings pre-installed. Okay, so if you haven't heard of SuperPro, they're a company that makes polyurethane suspension bushings. They're based in Australia, so they have a wide range of motorsports-oriented products, but are mostly geared towards overseas models. Well, if you have a first-generation TSX, good news for you is they actually have an Accord that they sell in Australia, or that they sold, that's the same as our first-gen TSX. It's called the Accord Euro, and they have a whole array of chassis parts for the Accord Euro that are completely cross-compatible with the first-generation TSX. And I've been selling these bushings for a while on the Heel Toe website. We usually have them in stock, mostly for the front control arms. This video is about these control arms because the compliance bushing in the TSX suspension actually is a really weak point in that suspension layout. The compliance bushing is meant to absorb impact and allow the front lower control arms to kind of like shake a little bit and not transfer too much road input into the car to make it uncomfortable. And they're made to rotate as the suspension goes up and down. But the design of these bushings is actually kind of weak. They fatigue after really not that long of driving, you know, maybe 60 to 80,000 miles. People see tears forming, and then these bushings just completely will fail at a certain point and cause a really numb feeling in the steering as the control arms no longer are stable. That compliance bushing actually adds way too much compliance when the arms are able to move around too much. And you see problems like torque steer, and you see problems like steering inaccuracy, inability to get a good alignment. So having good fresh compliance bushings is really important to the handling of these cars. So in contrast to going with the full performance bushing like our Fastline Performance spherical compliance bushings, which are completely non-compliant, they transmit more road noise into the car. They have a great steering feel, make everything feel very sharp. So for the ultimate in handling, they really are the best. But not everybody wants to go full spherical, and polyurethane is a popular choice as an alternative. So here are these arms that actually we got from SuperPro with the polyurethane bushings pre-installed. And you can see that in this shock mount location, there's a bushing here that's already been pressed into this arm, and here is the rear frame mount bushing, and there is the compliance bushing. So you can see there that the compliance bushing has got kind of an interesting design. Like I said, the compliance bushing in the car is meant to rotate a little bit. This bushing is not one solid piece. There's like a polyurethane housing here, and then there's some pivot ability of the bushing on a pin inside there. So this bushing will add some of that compliance, go back and forth like that. I've never used one of these, but I always felt a little leery about them because I just thought that having a polyurethane bushing here might not rotate freely enough in order to really allow the suspension to travel. In other words, you can have rubber or polyurethane in these areas, but there still needs to be some ability for it to rotate. I guess I would just have to take SuperPro's word for it, having not tried these, that this is a viable solution for changing the bushing from rubber to polyurethane. At some point, I really would like to get these in a car and try them, but I am showing them to you now because this is a product that's available on Heel Toe. I've got a couple sets in stock right now. We can also sell the bushings individually. A popular thing for people to do is get the Fastline Performance spherical control bushing right here, and then SuperPro in the other areas. Or you can also do Fastline OEM rubber at the shock, which really works pretty well for limiting road impact, and then a polyurethane here. So I'm working on creating a page on the website where you can completely configure your control arm build with different bushings in different places, or you could just buy the complete arm already set up with full polyurethane here. Guess it just depends on what your particular flavor is. So something else that I have to mention is that this arm is for the first generation TSX, but we do know for a fact that this arm works in 2003 to 7 Honda Accords, all models. It's a direct drop-in piece. Actually, you can even see here the stamping says SDA, which is a part number code for the 7th generation Accord. As well, this arm will work in 3rd generation Acura TLs. That's 04 to 08 TLs. Only thing to keep in mind there is if you have a 0708 Type S model, the sway bar length that mounts here, this is a M10 hole, but the sway bar length on a Type S is M12. So you'll need to increase the diameter of this hole in order to install it on your 3rd generation TL Type S, unless you switch to base sway bar lengths, which I'm not sure why you would do that. But drilling that little thing out, that's not that big of a deal. And that's actually true of all front lower arms we have on our website. We sell Mevotech, Dorman. There are hard race options. Hard race is another arm. They're, you know, sort of an inverse. They're blue with black bushings, but those are hard rubber, so-called hard rubber. So different product, but here you go. That's the SuperPro front lower control arm with the polyurethane bushings pre-installed. Like I said, they're available now. They're not in huge supply, but they are available. So go check them out on Heel Toe. I'll throw some links down in the description for you. And go ahead and order online. We'll get them out as fast as we can. If you have any other questions about these or have any experience with the polyurethane bushings from SuperPro, definitely drop a comment. We'd like to hear what you have to say about them. For sure, have a great day. Heel Toe is in your corner.